Question 1. Let's write down the ratio for Harley and Dawn. So Harley is to Dawn 7:1. And when Harley gave Dawn 27 cards, in the end they had the same number of cards. So the end ratio would be 1:1. Now, in this case, the total remained unchanged because it's just a transfer between the both of them. Harley gave Dawn 27. So Harley minus 27, Dawn plus 27. So total remained unchanged. I will fill in a total column for my ratio. So since total remained unchanged, I should make total the same. So over here, the after total needs to be 8 as well. So I multiply by 4, remember to multiply the whole set. So let's compare Harley. At first 7, she ends up having 4 units. It means she gave away 3 units. So 3 units is 27. And how many, let me find 1 unit first. It's 9. So Harley at first, that will be 7 units. $63. Question 2. So how much did he pay for the grapes? Let's just need to multiply. 2 3/4 kg, and each kg costs $6. So 2 3/4 kg multiplied by $6. 6 is 6 wholes. Now, first thing you need to do, remember to change your mixed number to improper fraction. So that will be 11 out of 4 times 6 out of 1. Then you do your cross cancellation. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 33 out of 2. And this would give you 16.5. So in this case, this would be $16.50. But if you had used a calculator for this, you just need to change it to decimal. Question 3, find the volume of water in the tank. So we need to find the height of the water. The height of the tank is 30. The space up there is 20. So the height of the water is 10. So volume of water is equal to length times breadth times the height. So 50 times 12 times 10 is 6,000. Question 4. The cost of 2 pens was the same as 3 notebooks. And she spent $252 on 12 notebooks and 6 pens. So let me write it down. So 12 notebooks plus 6 pens is equals to 252. So 2 pens cost the same as 3 notebooks. So the question wants us to find pen. If they want us to find pen, I'll make the other thing the same, in this case notebooks. So let me make notebooks the same. I'll multiply this by 4 to make it 12 notebooks. So 12 notebooks is equals to 8 pens. So this tells me that 8 pens plus 6 pens will be $252. So 14 pens, 252, 1 pen, 252 divided by 14 is 18. So 1 pen is $18. Question 5 is working backwards. We want to find the amount of meat that she had at first. So we start off with what she had in the end, which is 4 1/8. And she bought 3 3/4. So I'm working backwards. So remember, when you work backwards, you do the opposite of the of what the question says. So if she bought 3 3/4 kg, we will take that away. Okay, so okay, I will just show the working here. I really don't like to use calculator for fractions question. So I'm gonna change this to the same denominator so I can subtract, and this becomes 3 and 9 out of 8 to minus this, and I get 3/8. And one more step to work backwards. She used 1.5 kg, and I will put back that 1.5. So the answer is 1.78 kilograms. Question 6. We just need to take away the extra parts. So where are the extra parts? This is the extra part. So this part is sticking out, and this part is sticking out. So the middle portion here, can you see this, and this? They are actually equal. So if their total length is 78, I take away the extra bits, which is highlighted in yellow, 17 and 22. 78 minus 17 minus 22 is 39. And I now can take 39 to divide by 3 because I have 3 equal parts in the middle, which gives me 13. And the question wants us to find z, which is 13. Question 7, equal fractions. So what do I mean by equal fractions? A fraction of John is equal to a fraction of David's. So this tells me this is equal fractions concept. So what will I do with equal fractions concept? John and David, 1/3 and 4/5. I will make the numerator the same. So I'll multiply. So this becomes, this becomes 4 out of 12. This is still 4 out of 5. After I make the numerator the same, I'll ignore the numerator, and the denominator tells me the units. So John is 2, David would be 12:5. The question says the difference between them is 392. So the difference in units is 7 units. So 7 units is 392. 1 unit is 56. So how much money do they have altogether? Altogether would be, the total units is 12 plus 5, which is 17. So we need to find out 17 units, which is 56 times 17. That will give us $952. Question 8. The rectangle's area is 216. DE is 1/4 of DC. So this is 1 unit. This is 3/4, so this will be 3 units. So let me cut the rectangle up. I can cut it into 4 equal parts like that. Okay, so let me divide it into 4. So the area is 216. 216 divided by 4. (54). So one smaller rectangle is 54. Now, this triangle is taking up 3 rectangle space. So I will take 54 times 3 because the base is 3 of the smaller rectangles. So 162. So the shaded triangle would be half of this portion here. So I found the area here, the yellow rectangle, to be 162. So the shaded triangle would be half of that. So I take 162 and I divide by 2, which is 81. And that is my area of the shaded triangle. Question 9. This is an assumption question. So the question is looking for pomelos. I will assume the other thing, which is mangoes. So assume all are mangoes. So T, E, D, O. T total. So I'm assuming all 28 of them are mangoes. So they cost $3 each. So the total cost would be $84 if all of them were mangoes. Next, extra. Extra would be the big difference. The question says she paid $118. In this case, the total is $84. So the difference would be $34. Next, we find the small difference, which is the difference between a pomelo and a mango, which is 5, minus 3, which is $2. Next, it would be a divide, and we will find the opposite, which is the pomelos. There are 17 pomelos. Question 10. Question 10, we need to recognize what kind of concept this is. She sold an equal number of cupcakes and muffins. This tells us that the difference remain unchanged. So this is a constant difference question, meaning the difference before and the difference after did not change. So we can actually write down, so cupcakes is to muffins is 480 is to 300. The after ratio for cupcakes is to muffins. The cupcakes was 4 times the muffins left. So since I know that this is unchanged difference, I have a difference column for my ratios. So then I can make my difference the same. So one thing to take note is that if your before ratio is actually the actual number of cupcakes and muffins, once you make the difference the same after, that gives you the actual number of cupcake and muffins in the end as well. So in this case, how many muffins were sold? At first we have 300 muffins. We end up having 60 muffins. So how many muffins were sold? 300 minus 60. The difference between the before and the after would be what was sold, 240. Question 11. First thing we need to check for ratios question is if the fractions are referring to the same whole. This one says 1/7 of his salary. This says 5/8 of the remainder. So one is the salary, one is the remainder. The remainder is of a smaller whole. So since the two fractions are not referring to the same whole, we cannot change to the same denominator. So let me do it the fractions way. Saved 1/7. So television is 5/8 of the remainder. So 5/8 of the remainder after the savings would be 6 out of 7. So then do your cross cancellation. So this is 15 out of 28. So right here my denominator has changed to 28. I'm going to change this to 28 as well to avoid confusion. Okay, so then camera. He bought a camera with the remaining money. So he started off with 28 units. Take away his savings. And we take away the fraction that he spent for the TV. So it's 28 minus 4 minus 15. The camera is 9 out of 28. So they tell us that the camera costs $360. So I know that 9 units is $360. So from here, just find 1 unit as usual. 360 divided by 9, which is 40. How much was his salary? His salary is the entire thing, which is 28 units. So we take 40 times 28, and it's $1,120. Question 12. This is units times value, or a set question. Now how do I know it's units times value? We know 3 times. This tells me the units. We know the boys 3 cookies, the girls 2 cookies. This tells me the value. And next I know the total value, 253 cookies. So we're dealing with boys and girls. 3 times as many boys as girls. So this tells me one set. That for every 3 boys, there would be 1 girl. So now each boy receives 3 cookies. Each girl receives 2 cookies. So let me find out the total number of cookies in one set. The boys would receive 9. The girls would receive 2 in total. So the total number of cookies in a set would be 11 cookies in one set. So since the total is 253 cookies, I need to find out the number of sets. I know that there are 23 sets of these. So how many boys are there in the class party? So we go back to one set. One set, there are 3 boys. So if I have 23 sets, the total number of boys would be 23 times 3, which is 69. There are 69 boys in the class party. Question 13. She earned $3 for every box of food that she delivered, and additional $20 for every 10 boxes. So let me find per 10 box, okay? So for every 10 boxes, $3 a box, right? So 10 boxes, each one is 3. She will receive $30. And on top of that, there's the bonus of that $20 for every set of 10. So every 10 she received $50. So now, if she earned a total of 218, let's find out how many sets of this would she have. So this will be 4 sets and a remaining of $18. So this 4 represents 4 sets of 10. Okay, so next, this $18 will come from how many boxes? We got to find out. So $18, each box she would earn $3, right? So the $18 will come from 6 boxes. So the question wants to find how many boxes of food in total would she have delivered. So 4 sets of 10, and we add the 6 boxes. So that is 46 boxes of food. Question 14, I would draw a model. So Chloe spent $450 of her money on an oven, and 1/6 of the remaining, so the remaining portion here I could cut into 6, and out of which she spent 1 on a vacuum cleaner. Now this is what she had left, and they say that this is actually 1/3 of her original sum of money. So this leftover portion is 1/3, meaning the whole sum of money that she has is 1 whole, which is 3 out of 3. So now what I usually like to do is, since I have 5 units, I will change my numerator to 5. So this becomes 5 out of 15. So I do this so that I know that 1 unit here is 1/15. It's easier to see. So each unit is 1 out of 15. And if each unit is 1 out of 15, this tells us that 450 would be 15 out of 15 minus 6 out of 15, which is 9 out of 15. So we know that 9 units is $450. So we need to find out 1 unit, which is 450 divided by 9, which is 50. So the question wants us to find how much did she have at first. At first would be the entire thing, which is 15 out of 15, which is 15 units. 50 times 15. $750. So this is volume. Let me find the container, the volume of the container. So that's 20 by 30 by 15. It's 9,000. So if this plus this would be the total amount of water, right? So 9,000 plus 168 is 9168. This is the total amount of water, and that was 2/3 of the tank. So 2/3 of tank is 9168. So in order to find out what's 1/3 of the tank, I take 9168 divided by 2. To get 4584, and I can find the capacity of the tank, which is the whole tank, 3 out of 3. So then we take 4584 multiply by 3 to get 13,752 cubic centimeters. Question 16. Let me write out. They say 6 notebooks cost as much as 14 staplers. So one notebook costs $5.80 more than each stapler. So one notebook will be equals to one stapler plus $5.80. Since the notebook costs more, so the stapler needs to plus $5.80 for it to be the same cost as the notebook. So we want to find the total cost of a notebook and a stapler. So we've got to find both. So I am going to make my notebooks the same first. So I'm going to multiply the notebooks and make this 6. So this becomes 6 notebook is equals to 6 staplers plus 34.80. Now, so after I have this, I have my notebooks the same. So 6 notebooks is equal to 6 notebooks, which means 14 staplers will be equal to 6 staplers plus this. So let me write down my new equation. 14 staplers is equals to 6 staplers plus 34.80. So which means 8 staplers cost 34.80. So one stapler would be 34.80 divided by 8, which is 4.35. Now we want to find one notebook, right? So do you remember that one notebook costs $5.80 more than a stapler? So we can very quickly find the notebook, which is you take the stapler and you add $5.80 plus $5.80, we would get $10.15. Now you just simply need to add the two together. So 4.35 plus 10.15 is equal to $14.50. Question 17, I would draw a model. So this is Jovan's money. 1/6, I'll cut it into 6 portions. He spent 1/6, and not just 1/6, and also an additional $15 on a wallet. Now the remaining, they want the remaining now to be 4, but the remainder is not 4. We have like 4 and a little bit more here. So I'm just going to drop down the remainder and draw a new bar. And cut the new bar into 4 parts. So he spent 1/4 of the remaining money and an additional $10 on a belt. He was left with $65. So the first thing we need to do, as you can see from the model at the bottom, the below one, can you see that 3 units over here? So what makes up 3 units? The 65 with the 10. So 3 units would be 65 together with 10, which is 75. So I find out what's 1 unit. It's 75 divided by 3, 25. And I find the whole bar at the bottom first. So I find 4 units. That's 25 times 4, which is 100. So now let's go back to the model. Now where is 100? This is 100. Okay, so if we bring it up, you see here, 100 is here. Okay, so if 100 is here, can you see what's on top now? Can you see this here? 5 parts on top. So what makes the 5 parts? The 5 parts on top would be 100 together with the 15. So 5 parts is equals to 115. So in order to find 1 part, I will take 115 divided by 5. Get 23. So how much did he have at first? I just need to find the whole entire thing at the top row, which is 6 parts. 23 times 6, which is 138. 138. That will be the answer.